put together the video that you're watching now that puts together a lot of the detail work as far as the actual construction of this jig. I had occasion recently to put together a lamination jig for a client, and I may or may not have gone back through my own materials to, you know, get some of the specs. Checked out my own build guide. That there's a build guide that goes through the construction of not only this jig but 2 more jigs, vitally important to the shop. And if you're interested in taking a look at that particular build guide, there'll be a description, or a link in the description rather, to not only see how to build this particular jig, but also my tapering jig and the tillering gizmo. Probably my 3 top jigs in the shop as far as it's concerned to build bows. That having been said, I realized as I'm going through my build guide that a little bit to be desired as far as some of the information necessary to build this particular jig. And so I went through two facets of re-communicating it. One, I put together the video that you're watching now. Secondly, updated the guide itself to include some of the details that I realized I had missed along the way. Check your email, because I have sent you an updated version. Now, I want to be clear, there has been one version sent out. That would be the beta new version, and then there is the finished version. So if you got one email from me that showed how to build this, great. That was me trying to rush to market so that you guys could see exactly what it takes to build this particular jig. It's been updated even one more time since then, and should be available in your email if you've purchased it in the past. If you have not purchased it in the past, then rest assured, when you go to purchase the build guide associated with putting together this lamination jig, you are going to get the full description associated with it, including this particular video. So I'm of the belief that a picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is worth 10,000 words. Keep watching. There's going to be a lot of detail that covers everything that goes into the construction of this particular jig, which makes the build guide that much more useful when you take it to the garage. Getting the pieces prepared for the glue up operation for the laminating jig here, and I'm gluing up multiple at a time, so I'm doing 2 at a time to get the orders I need filled done in a more timely manner, but so that you can see what I've got going on. I have Baltic birch. You can choose whatever substrate or material you want for your jig. Right? It could be 1x2 or 1x3 solid stock, whatever it is. The only caveat is that you got to make sure that it's straight. In the end, it just needs to be straight. Okay. So these 2 pieces are going to sandwich together, and then I've got 2 pieces of 1/4 inch MDF here. Again, could be whatever material you choose. MDF is my choice simply because it's very consistent in terms of thickness and glues up really well. So that would be the initial pieces of this glue up. I have a center line marked out, and then I have a 5-inch space right at the center, so 2.5 inches off center on both sides, which leaves me a little over 9 inches down here for a channel. So you'll notice when the pieces come together like this, there is a gap with no filler piece. And that is very intentional, as you well know, with the design of this particular jig, being that we want to be able to clamp these edges together and hold our like our bench dog, basically the bench dog, in place here. All right, one last piece, and it'd actually be two, are these little corner pieces. So this is what helps keep the section separated, but doesn't inhibit the clamping operation along this top surface here. Again, the corner piece here, same material, the 1/4 MDF, but it's going to be attached here at the very end corner, what would be the end bottom corner, because we're going to put our knob, our clamping piece right in here. Similar lineup or similar configuration on both ends of the jig. So everything kind of operates from center. So everything you see out here is going to be exactly mirrored out this direction. Here's a little more detailed look at that section right here. Right, it's got 9 inches. And actually this will be set to 9 inches right here. There's my tape. This. All right, we got 9 inches. We've got, this is actually 1.5 by 1.5, like this. And then we'll just sandwich that together and glue it up. Going to change up my process just a little bit, since it can be a challenge to keep these little pieces in place when they are sandwiched between two substrates and you can't necessarily reach it directly. I'm going to super glue them in place onto one side so that they stay in place during the lamination process, and we'll do the regular PVA on the opposing side. In the end, we're going to drive a screw through this assembly, so it really doesn't matter how they're attached initially. It'll be good to have them hold in place where we need them. This is the 3 iterations of the process. Completed glue up right here. The layout of where we're going to drill the strap peg holes, or the peg holes, and then once the peg holes are drilled in. And obviously you want to use like either a drill press or plunge router, something along those lines that are going to give you good, clean, unidirectional holes into this jig so that everything looks, you know, cohesive in the end. They're not all poking in different directions and doing weird things. But here's our finished blank for the jig. You can see I've got screw holes here, and they're on the opposing side in opposing locations. So top and bottom at the end of the 1/4 inch spine inside there, and then one right here at the spacer point at the very end of the jig. You can see a T-nut installed here on a 3/8 inch hole, and that's to accept the screw-in knob here. Here's a detail of that knob, and there's a short series that goes through the quick process of making those knobs. Those are in place. And then I took a piece of 1x stock, cut it to the same width of the jig, which is 1 5/8 inches, rabbited out a slot, put a piece of 1/4 inch MDF, the same MDF that's in between the 2 plies of plywood here, to create our little stopper blocks. And these go right down here and can tighten down with the knob right here. So that is these pieces right here. And of course I made 4 of these jigs at one time, so only 2 of them are required here. And then 45 pegs. And these will be placed in to every peg hole on down the way. So that's, everything is basically done here for the jig.